The Servicescape. Cultivate Coffee and Tap House in Ypsilanti, Michigan. What is done well in this Servicescape? The overall physicality of the Cultivate was well thought out. The location is in a popular area in Ypsilanti, and although they have a lot of nearby competition, they made the best out of it. There's a lot of room for parking, although the lot always seems to be full regardless. The location is very easy to find with a big sign out front. The layout inside provides a really nice flow, and even when it's very busy, it's not too crowded, you can always find a place to sit. The outside garden allows for a different atmosphere than inside and is utilized all year round as opposed to just spring and summer. Positive influence on customer expectations. The fact that there is ample room for so many customers gives guests the feeling that no matter what time or day it is, they can go to Cultivate knowing they will be able to get a coffee, beer, sandwich, or pastry in a timely fashion and be able to find a comfortable spot to sit. The layout positively affects customers by providing comfort. There's enough room to move around, but you are still sitting, working closely next to other guests. It provides a positive, interactive, inclusive servicescape. What needs to be improved? Parking and winter event causing drafts. Atmosphere influences. The sounds of beans roasting, espresso machines whistling, people chatting, good music on the speakers always provide a positive vibe for guests. The music playing in the background is always good, music you wouldn't hear just at any regular restaurant. The diversity of music adds to the overall unique landscape of Cultivate. Everything is very symmetrical and pleasing to the eye. The menus displayed are all square and evenly spaced. The walls are exposed cement bricks, some painted white and others dark green. All the tables are large picnic tables, adding to the theme of rectangles and squares. The artwork placed through the building is all very unique and adds a positive effect to the Servicescape. Servicescape roles. Facilitator. This is a concept Cultivate has mastered. The Servicescape facilitates many different objects, activities, and overall goals that are set when guests come to Cultivate. Behind the service counter, there appears to be plenty of room for employees to move around. There is a clear and distinct section for employees to make coffee drinks, pour beers, and make food. Additionally, the facilitator role is very efficient for guests. The whole building is very open space with appropriate barriers in between the two main rooms. The second room, or the larger one, allows space to hold different events. The layout allows attendees of such events to hear, see, and feel what's going on, but also others who are not attending do not feel disturbed by what's going on. Differentiator role. In an area that is saturated with restaurants and coffee shops, Cultivate offers a unique experience that differentiates from its competitors. This is why they do so well. They have designed and developed a concept that intertwines local events, organic coffee, craft beer, and a space for people to come, do work, and socialize at the same time. In the summertime, when the beer garden is open all day, it aids in differentiating guests who come to Cultivate to drink a coffee and do some work, for those who come to drink and play cornhole outside. Servicescape differentiator. Cultivate uses their Servicescape to differentiate by creating a unique atmosphere. The Servicescape they've created is different from any other establishment in the area. The layout or design of the Servicescape allows for efficient service delivery. Guests order at the counter and are called to the counter when their order is up. Areas for guests to put dirty dishes are available and consistently cleaned by staff. Physical differentiator. Cultivate uses physical evidence to differentiate by simply selling their products. Their coffee is organically produced and the beverages they create are unique and tasteful. Not only do they serve craft beers, you can tell that they clean their beer lines frequently, which offers a pure, delicious taste. This also translates directly to enhancing the customer's experience. The cleanliness and lack of clutter within the establishment allows the employees to positively facilitate service delivery in a positive fashion. Suggestions for Cultivate. More parking. A basket with cushions. Hardwood seats can cause discomfort for guests who stay for long periods of time. Space heaters for colder months. And bar stools with backs. Beezy's Cafe. What is done well in the Servicescape? Beezy's Cafe is well put together. Located in the heart of downtown Ypsilanti on Washington Street, it's ideal for foot traffic. Being that there is no parking on the street itself, the owner does a great job of making the most of this situation. Located between two public parking areas, one in the back of the restaurant and one right across the street, there's parking for driving guests. Signage in both the front and the rear of the establishment allows for the cafe to be spotted all around. Walk inside and you'll be greeted by a narrow front room but 2 additional dining spaces to make up for that. A mix of traditional seating, bar stools, and comfy couches gives Beezy's that homey feel. Despite the coziness of the cafe, the restaurant still manages to flip a decent amount of tables and even more in takeout and to-go orders. There's no outside seating because the building structure doesn't accommodate that type of service aspect. Positive influence on customer expectations. Providing comfort, it's been said by many that you can feel the comfort as soon as you enter the restaurant. From the food to the service given to the optimal seating, it's very easy to lose track of time in this cafe. Another stellar aspect of the cafe would be their ordering system. You have the option to call ahead and place an order, which allows you to enjoy your food sooner rather than waiting. What needs to be improved? The order taking system could use an upgrade. The POS system is sort of outdated, which is very problematic. Beezy's also used a ticket system that sends your order to both the kitchen and the line. A receipt is printed in both locations, and once your food is prepared, it's sat on the counter and your name is called. With 3 dining areas and music throughout the entire restaurant, it's sort of hard to hear your name being called. The food window has no heating source at all, so food gets cold quickly and food quality starts to diminish. Improvement in this area would increase customer satisfaction for sure. Atmosphere influences. The atmosphere of Beezy's Cafe absolutely adds a tremendous amount of value to the overall experience. The wooden accent and earth tones with a splash of color, chill music selection, dim overhead lighting accompanied by additional string lights, and a fragrant reminiscent of Grandma's breakfast on a Sunday morning all make up the aesthetic of the cozy cafe. With the quiet noise from the kitchen and the yelling of orders, you won't be able to totally drift out, but once you get used to it, it's not a huge distraction. The restaurant decor is a tad busy, but it definitely conveys the personality of the owner. The walls are filled with quotes, small pictures, and local art. Servicescape roles. This Servicescape falls under the package category, but it also has some characteristics of a socializer Servicescape. From the font chosen on the sign to the functionality of the establishment to the items provided on the menu, Beezy's Cafe is sold to the consumer as a wholesome dining experience. The design of the restaurant is what gives it the package aspect. The ordering system, self-seating, self-bussing of the table is what gives it the socializer aspect. Customers know their roles there, where to put their dishes, and how to place their orders. The employees rely on the customers knowing these things in order for the day to flow as it should. Servicescape differentiator. Beezy's Cafe business hours are 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving only breakfast and lunch. When the restaurant isn't turning over tables for its own customers, Bee rents out the space Monday through Thursday. She allows an after-school program called 826 Michigan to utilize the restaurant. Friday and Saturday, she rents the space out to local food entrepreneurs. This is what sets the cafe apart from other businesses in Ypsilanti. None of her competitors engage with the community on the level that she does, which ultimately brings her great success. Physical differentiator. The proof is in the pudding, or the product that she sells. Everything in the cafe is either homemade or locally sourced. This allows Beezy's to pull in the conscious crowd with ease. This trend is definitely one that customers pay attention to. It's almost becoming a requirement more than a trend. She even sets up a food stand at the local farmers market. Her customers get to see firsthand where a majority of her produce comes from. Beezy's blend of coffee is sold at local coffee shops as well as the cafe. Suggestions. Considering that there is very limited parking, Beezy's should develop a delivery sector. She'd be able to increase the number of customers she serves daily, allowing for more profit overall. This makes sense for the cafe because of the limited business hours. Most people order some sort of takeout for lunch, especially when their lunch breaks were shorter than 1 hour. Delivering to the surrounding businesses and the university would increase her cash flow and potentially gain new customers. This would also help her to spread the word about her catering services as well.